but just really going with what your body tells you it needs in the way of a wake up and gentle yoga session. So this could be just before or just after meditation, either way, whatever your preference is, but it's before you look at your mobile phone, before you jump into the day-to-day. So we'll start off here, go on our hands and knees on the tabletop. Let's see, I'm just gonna adjust the camera a little bit more. It's always the bane of my existence. There we go, a little bit more, okay. And from here, we'll just push back into down dog, so curling our toes, make sure the palms are pressed flat into the mat. And now walking the dog, opening the calves, lifting the hips, and just enjoy. A few more times here. And now from here, we'll go a little bit deeper with the calves. So today, really starting off with the calves here. So pushing down a bit deeper, lowering the head, let it really drop, raise those hips, and now lift your left leg as high as you can without compromising having the hips running parallel. You don't want to stack the hips on this one. Just raise that leg as high as you can, pushing back more force on the back heel. Try to get that leg that's on the ground as straight as possible. And now exhale, release. Other side. So lifting up again, right leg now, high as you can. Pushing back on that back heel. Driving the palms of the hands into the floor. And now exhale, release. Coming back down to tabletop. We'll do something nice for the spine, cat-cow. So go into the tops of your feet. And remember, deep belly breathing. And when you're inhaling, take a pause at the top. Really feel the belly. Get the extra arch in your back. And then when you're pressing back for the cat, really make sure you're pushing into the palms again, hunching the shoulders, and getting all of the oxygen out on a deep exhale and holding there for a moment as well. So just follow along. Go at your own pace. Inhale. Filling the belly. And exhale, tucking the chin, lifting the shoulders, compressing that abdomen. Pause there, and then come back up. Inhale. Pause at the top. And then exhale, going back. Just keep going. With the breath, synchronized. And coming up. And now what we'll do from here is something for the hips. So it's also a good way to start the day as well. We'll go for what's called pigeon pose. So you might want to use, if you have it there nearby, you might want to use a yoga block because you want it to be completely flat on the floor. We want to stay in this position for a while to really let the benefit of the posture sort of take effect with the breath. So you want to bring your left leg forward on the knee, turn the foot out a little bit so you're at the top of the foot there. And then the back leg, technical yoga term, scooching back. Now you're on your forearms. And now this is good right here. If you can lower the weight on, it's good. If you need, like I said, you want to have some contact and support, put the yoga brick here. This is sort of like version 1 of an adapted pigeon pose. But you might want to put the brick there, just under the glute. Yeah, there you go. That's it. A way of support. And then you can go a little bit deeper. Once you have the brick there, you work into it a bit deeper and just extend the arms out as far as you can. So let's change the position of my mat a little bit. So a bit more here. Okay. So again, the foot knee comes up. You can follow. Break behind the glute. And just leaning forward into it. Now, if you're feeling really flexible and after some breaths, you want to remove the brick. Only do so if you can get the glute all the way down to the mat and still keep a happy yoga smile. So if that's the case, then okay, go down all the way. Just slide the back leg a little bit further. Make sure you have compression of, you should feel the side of your calf and the top of your knee touching your chest as your forehead is coming to the mat here. What you don't want to have is any part of the body sort of not with contact to the ground here. So a few more breaths here. Maybe an exhale. You feel yourself just sort of meld into the ground a little bit more. And now slowly, slowly inhale. Don't come up all the way. Bring your hands close to you for support. Then lift up, pushing gently, 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 gently. And then the back foot, you want to bring that forward a little bit. So you're coming up nicely on the knee. You want to just be careful with the knees in this particular posture. Make sure you do it for yourself more benefit than any problems. So now we are just going to go for child's pose here. It's a little reset before doing the other side. So if you're not touching the mat with the floor, use the brick. Make sure you're sat all the way back on your heels. Get the opening there on the back. Hands are out in front for the shoulders. And again, staying here for some breaths. And now inhale, coming up. Take the block to one side. Go back here to tabletop. And again, now same thing. So the right leg comes forward. Then you just turn the foot out. At about a 45-degree angle, you're on the top side of the foot. You can place the yoga brick now to one side for support for that glute. And then we'll just go down to adopted pigeon pose or adapted pigeon pose. Sounds like homeless pigeon. And then place the block there. And so you're on the forearms. And this is good. And if you want to go for deeper, again, just straighten the arms out. Go deeper. Just be careful of the knees. Listen to your body. Make sure it's a nice position to be in. If you need to make any adjustments, just come back up. If, for example, you want to move the foot a little bit further out or back further so there's less pressure on the knee, you can do that as well. Now, once you're here, for some breaths, if you're feeling, again, flexible there in the hip, you can remove the block if you're using it and just go completely flat on the mat. Again, just melding here into the mat with a calm breath. And now inhale, coming up again. Bring your hands towards you first. Then the back foot, just bring it forward slightly, stepping, and then back to tabletop carefully. And this time we'll go to child's pose a little bit differently, something for the shoulders. So again, put the brick in front of you. You might need it for this one. So lace the fingers together behind you, looking up at the sky, deep inhale. And on your exhale, just land your forehead gently, either on the brick or mat, maintaining yourself seated there on the heels, and now lifting the hands upwards, opening the shoulders. And now lower the hands onto the back. Inhale, lift the head gently, slowly. We'll just go facing this way here. Take your brick, or actually we'll use this morning, we'll be kind of creative and go with some straps. So one strap each foot. We're facing this way. So either with straps, like Amrita has, or with your toes, either one. But you want to have the abductors open as wide as possible. We're going to do a forward bend here. We'll try and stay as seated as the mat as possible for the base of the spine not getting cold, particularly on a cold cement or something. So now what we want to do here is take the hands, place them behind you, and then just open the abductors as far as possible. Once you're there, take the straps, one in each hand. And what you want to make sure when you're using straps or any prop, don't go too exaggerated. You want to just like follow your body, go to where you're comfortable, you can sustain it. You don't want to be bouncing back and forth. So now inhale, take a deep breath, raise the chin, and then exhale, come forward as far as you can, using the straps as a guide. Try to land the head on the brick there. And then once you're there, using the brick as a stationary point, this is very nice for maintaining the posture for a longer period of time. And now if you're the other option is inhale, and again exhale, coming forward. Don't want to crane or strain the neck. You can grab the toes, that's good too, and then just pull forward. If you want to progress from there, reach the hands maybe down the heels a little bit, trying to get the chest to the floor first before the head and the nose. Stay here for some breaths. What you may feel is after you've been here for a while, some suppleness, some tension is released. And you might find you can go a little bit further, but do it with an exhale breath. And again, trying to aim the chest to the floor first before the nose or the head. And now inhale, coming up. Little by little. Maybe turn the head to each side a little bit here. Raise up the arms, verticality in the spine a bit. And now exhale, release the hands. Now very important for the legs. Put them out in front of you. And window wipers to release any tension there in the abductors. And so now we've done a forward bend, wake up hips, and a few other things. We should now consider doing something in the way of a back bend. So let's go into half bridge here. And we'll just bring the heels up as close as possible to the glutes. Lifting the hips as high as possible. Lace the fingers together. Tuck the shoulder blades underneath each side. And then once you have the support of the top of the shoulders, back of the head, and the hands, lift the hips even just a little bit further. And stay here. Now, if you have a brick close to you, and you're familiar with this practice, or you've tried it, you can take the brick and put it either vertically or horizontally underneath the spine there from half bridge. Find the sacrum or the flat spot of the spine and make sure the brick is completely centered. It's not on the edge or a corner. Also, I recommend a cork or plastic brick, for example. Then you can straighten your legs. Let your palms facing up. And you have a very nice supported back arch here. You just let gravity hold you here. Now, when coming out of this one, be very, very careful. Bring the heels in towards you. Lift the hips first, then remove the brick. To say, never sit up directly on the brick. Now, something for the back, work out any tension there. So a little knee hug, grab, lace the fingers together, and just rocking side to side. Okay, now coming up, inhale. And before we finish today's out of bed sequence here, we're going to do one of my favorite twists. I don't know if we've done this one before. We'll try it here on camera. You pull, let's say, your left leg in, the heel towards the glute, the right glute. And what you want to do is then take your that's the left foot, the right foot, put it over the left knee here. Make sure, obviously, you straighten the spine, you get vertical before doing a twist. And from here, you want to capture the knee over your armpit. If the idea is to thread the hand here underneath. If you can't do that, you can just do like this. Now this is like version 1. You just use the elbow, and the back hand is behind you, maintaining a vertical spine. You don't want to lean back. Like keep the chin and the head upright like that. Now, if you're flexible in the spine and the arm a bit, you can take the arm, lace it through underneath the knee. Again, try to first get the armpit on top of the knee, and we get the maximum space achieved for the arm to pass through. Then the other arm, you don't want to just raise it back. You want to raise it up and around, open the socket, and then capture the wrist or the hand or just the fingers, and then turning, twisting, looking back the other way. So you want to turn your head looking back. If you're leaning back, also the head. Now press up. Using the brick, that's another way to get more verticality in the spine and a better twist. Keep the arm straight, and then just turn your head that way. And then that way you get a little bit more activation lower back. Okay, so another moment here. Now when you're ready, unlace yourself, so to speak, and just bring your arms straight up. Tickle the clouds with fingers, articulation's getting moving here. And now we'll switch to the other side. So now, the right leg, with the left coming into the left glute with the heel. Left foot goes over the right knee. Yeah. And from here, reaching up again to the sky. And again, you can either capture the elbow there, have the brick behind you. There you go. Capture the elbow, use the brick or your fingertips behind you to keep the spine straight, or reaching up all the way, tuck your armpit over the top of the knee, threading through, and then the other arm up and around. Open the socket, and then capture the fingers or the wrist, wherever you're comfortable, and then just turning your gaze back gently. And now inhale, release. Unwrap your arms if they're tucked in. And legs out in front. Again, window wipers, always a good reset. For the legs, for the knees. Okay. Now I have the full sun effect here on the camera. And we'll go for Shavasana now. But what I like to do, particularly in the morning, is what I call power Shavasana. So what does that mean? When I go to the wall, use it as a support for getting an inversion of the legs in the air, so you get the benefits of doing a headstand without any of the complications of balance. And it can be a little bit more restorative. So we're going to move the mats now over to the wall. Hopefully staying within the camera. Now, what I like to do is I always like to make sure the mat is a little bit like this, running up the wall, so you're not touching the cold wall with the base of the spine. So just have to adjust the mat accordingly. And this particular location is a little bit interesting because we have a ledge, so we need to put a foam block so the legs can be straight. You want to go first? I'll put you the block. Remember? So what you want to do is get yourself as close as possible to the wall. Legs are straight. And then the block, in this particular case, goes here due to the ledge. I'll put the lid on. Yeah, I can put it there. Okay. Obviously, a wall without a ledge is ideal. Okay, there you go. And so here you can stay as long as you like. I've noticed, in my opinion, in practicing this, 15 minutes and you feel like you've been resting for 2 hours. So it's really very, very effective. And I think a great way to start the day with an inversion against the wall. Palms facing up, shoulders are flat, eyes are closed, and just a deep belly breath. Okay, now just gently moving your fingers, your toes. If you have a brick on the ledge, remove that first, carefully. And then just roll over to your left hand side. On the fists or hands for a pillow. This side is activation. So that's the start of the day. Recalibrate here for a moment. And now inhale coming up. I'll come over to the camera and say namaste. Thank you very much for joining. Please subscribe to the Michael Sands Yoga and Adventure channel. And we'll be back with other things. We're probably doing some aerial yoga swing today as well. So please check back and have a great day.